Hi guys, this is Yosef Martin and Scott Clary, and today we're going to answer some questions. And I received a question from Marie, and we had a phone call, and I'm going to go and tell you what she asked me. So she was actually sitting with a friend of mine, and she was trying to get some consulting for her business. And he told her, you need to call Joe because there was something related to beauty, I think, in her business. And without putting too much information, but what it is a very smart young entrepreneur that has 3 businesses. And one is made to make enough money so the other one can grow, but none of them is really making money. And she's spreading her time mostly around 3 businesses equally. But 2 of them are kind of, we would call it a star, and the other one is a cash cow. Only one really makes money. And
why would she do 3?
Well, I feel like when one thing works for you, and it happened to me in the past, I did the same mistakes, right? You do one thing, it works. Then you find that, in my case, right, I did really well with SEO in early 2000s. And my business did amazing, but that business you had to sell every time. You had to go convince people to buy a truckload and all that. Then I threw some Google AdSense on just ads on my site, and I saw that it makes a couple thousands a month from doing nothing. So I said, all right, then let's. Okay, so I opened a bunch of sites, casino sites, affiliate sites, something to buy, all that. And before you know it, I was heading a spiral where I was running 2 different type businesses, but none of them was really big. And that's what happened to her. One was making the money, the rest, she spent more time on what doesn't make the money because she would feel that can be bigger. So then
By the way, this is a classic entrepreneurial problem because you want to solve all the problems and people have a super tough time letting go of shit that's not working.
Yeah, and
it's a big issue.
All it takes is one time where you just catch yourself.
Yeah.
And you said, whoa,
I do it too.
So then I asked her, I said, well, let me ask you something. So you have one business that actually generates money. Yes. The other 2 or 3 are not. No, but then it won't wait. But it's not. She said, no, it's not. Okay. The business that you're doing right now, doesn't matter what it is. Do you have competitors that are making, say, tens of millions? You said yes. Well, then, right now you're not making that much, right? How about you get to tens of millions, and then when you systemize the business, when you work on the business, not in the business, you can go and try something else. But first, get it to that size. Get out of poverty, and then you can allow yourself to do whatever you want, which that's exactly what happened to me, right? It was a case where I was doing all those things wrong. I mean, nothing was really booming. One day I was on a vacation. I was in a honeymoon with my ex-wife in Maui, and I had a guy that was doing all those side projects for me. His name is Felix, and we're doing a bunch of growth hacking tactics and a bunch of link baits, and you name it. It was all the time. So I said, listen, I want you to do this image and da-da-da-da. And he was working at the same office where the core business was there. And while I was talking to him, I was kind of like looking at stuff in Maui, and I said to myself, wait a minute, my competitors in LA, they're doing about 30 million a year. I'm doing 700,000. What the fuck am I doing fucking wrong with this?
With all this SEO.
I told him, stop all this. Just go ask the guys if they need help with the liquidation. He's like, I don't understand. I said, that's it. We're done. I cut it off. Next year we did 2 million, then 5 million, then 10 million. Then I started BoxyCharm and we took it to the
people
moon.
Have a tough...
That's all it took.
I'll tell you why people screw it up. Because all you hear is billionaires have multiple streams of income. That's everyone hears that, right?
Yeah. But they didn't have it to begin with, right? First they had one.
They had one stream of income, and that stream went really, really, really well.
Yeah.
And then
Elon Musk had he had PayPal. Then he cashed out on 187. PayPal, and then he moved into another one and another one.
So you have to compare to where you have to compare yourself to where other people are at in their journey. Mm-hmm. When Elon does SpaceX, and Elon's a crazy example.
It's not even a good example. Yeah,
it's not because he has operators. He has CEOs. He has the brightest people in the world that are CEOs of all his subsidiary companies. Yeah. He's smart, but he's not actively participating in the day-to-day of every single thing.
Well, I think with him, he's abnormal because he does look
at all the details. By the way, sleeps in his office. You also have to think about what kind of life that you want.
Yeah, we're not talking about Elon Musk right now. The idea is that not to sidetrack, okay? That's the point. Do not lose focus.
Yeah.
You have to be focused and determined. If you want to make it in business, the ones that win are the ones that are relentless and they don't stop. And they are focused more than the person that they compete with. It's a player versus player, right? Whose gonna take that dollar? If I go and I compete with you, I go and I sleep, think, eat, drink, and I ask myself, am I actually thinking only about what's absolutely important and urgent? If your day-to-day is about everything that's not important or not very important, and I only focus on what's important and urgent, who do you think is going to win?
Always. Do one thing with absolute focus for 10 years and see where you are. And by the way,
it doesn't have to be the timing. It needs to be
no,
the
I'm just
fact
telling
that
you though, but
if you know
people
that
acted
you can,
like that, right? And one other thing too, I want to make it very clear, because I speak a lot about how to properly go into entrepreneurship, meaning that what I don't think good entrepreneurship is when you only have so much money in the bank and you quit your job and you throw a caution to the wind and you go all in on something day one and you only have 3 months before you can't pay rent. I don't think that's good. I do believe that you can be entirely focused on the thing that you're building on the side, because you know where you want to go while still maintaining a healthy day job to fund that side activity to the point where it can take off. You can go into it full time. It's not the ideal, but I'm just saying that even if you are a 9-to-5er, you can still have that extreme focus because you know in your head what you're focusing on. I'm just saying that have that focus on one thing in your life, even if it is split time-wise with the 9-to-5, the side hustle has to be one side hustle.
Well, if we're looking at people that run business, yes, I do. I think that if you run a business, you're not 9-to-5 on side. You have a business. You can focus all your time in your business, and you consciously made a decision not to try 2, 3, 4 other businesses.
That's also
that is where you're making the mistakes, right? Consciously, you have to ask yourself, am I focused on what's important, on what's urgent? This is a major difference between the two, because if you don't have to be the smartest or the brightest. You just have to be more determined and more focused. A company that's a goal-oriented usually come from CEOs that their mindset is so focused and they're saying, well, I have so much brain power over here around me. I can't be the only one doing the thinking. I want to leverage all of it. I want them to fully understand where we're going and how we're going to get there. And then when they go to sleep, they'll come up with ideas because they know the direction. And in the lieu of me being around them in the office, they'll make the right decisions because I gave them all the instructions. But when your mind is everywhere and I'm trying this, but I want to try that and maybe, no. Ask yourself the first question, can that business make it to 100 million or a billion? If yes, what's your excuse to try 5 more?
All right. Okay, that's it for today. If you enjoyed, please subscribe on YouTube. If you enjoyed this podcast, you can download and listen to it wherever you get your podcasts or on liquidityandliquor.com.